Well, Andor delivers another fairly good episode. Certainly the most exciting one. One of the big complaints is it's slow going. However, it's interesting, and perhaps to its benefit, just by circumstance, that the Rings of Power is very slow going, but at least with Andor, it's going somewhere. Rings of Power is not. Well, it's going somewhere, but I mean, spiraling down the commode is a destination as well. So anyway, Andor, and then actually Andor, one of the other complaints is, boy, it could use some Star Wars in it. And, well, you get a good amount of that here, more Imperial officers and whatnot, and a bunch of TIE fighters, not just one. And a chase of spaceships and everything. So, I didn't keep or pay attention to the actual number of episodes at the outset. And then when I looked into it, I said, oh, my God, there's 12. And I said, good God, we got to go through 11 episodes before the actual heist takes place. It couldn't possibly be that slow going. It wasn't. The heist was this episode, called the Eye, after the atmospheric, event that forms the foundation of the planet's religion, takes place, and it's all this spectacular light show from the meteor shower that happens, and which comes in handy as they make good on their escape. But just again, it's very well shot. Performances, even just extras and whatnot, do a good job, and also they capture, this is it. This is the mission they've been building up to, and the nervousness and how that feels, and then where it goes right and where it goes wrong, and this sort of thing. So some characters will not be surviving this episode. You're going to lose a few. Yeah, that's it for Andor. What? No. See? If that had happened, then you would understand that somehow he survived Rogue One because, well, he does look older than he did. Yeah, because he is, but yeah. No. But more of the dark tones and what's necessary. And I take that to mean that these are events and scenes that define Cassian Andor for the guy he is in the opening of Rogue One that you're first introduced to. All in all, the heist goes through and they're done, but then it's like, well, now you got the money, so what happens? And also they're aware of you, and my guess is the mall cop guy who's back home living with his domineering mother and wondering what to do with himself. Well, he's going to want in on this mission to hunt down this guy. So I imagine that's how that's going to be. It's going to become a cat and mouse game between the two. He's going to become quite obsessed with getting back at this guy, this mysterious Cassian Andor, who derailed his career, killed some of his men, all that type of stuff. And so that's kind of how I think it would unfold. It would be kind of odd that it didn't. But overall, just the whole thing and the nodding of stomachs for people who knew this was about to happen, and they go back to Coruscant, and we get to see the Senate and stuff. Mon Mothma's there and all that. That's cool. And what's his name? Luthen. Sarsgaard's character. It's a small scene, but it's very, very well played. It's very good. And just that whole idea of just being on pins and needles, and then you can relax because, oh man, it works. That sort of thing. So I don't want to give all of it away. I think it's a show you need to experience yourself rather than me just telling you everything that happened. And we do get an actual alien. There's an alien shows up. Kind of. He's not the same species or anything, I don't think, but he kind of resembles. Oh damn it! What was she called? She was sort of the stand-in for Yoda in The Force Awakens with the glasses. He seems to have cybernetic eyes, but it's anyway. So they had that. That's another one of the weaknesses, I thought, and perhaps it was a cost-saving deal, because this is like a more or less a brief scene of this alien appearing. But they needed an alien on the team, some weird looking creature guy. Andor, Andor, get it? A droid, maybe not the droid we all want, the Alan Tudyk droid, but still, a droid, to give it more of the atmosphere of Star Wars. Even though I understand this is a dark take. This is the dark underbelly of the rebellion that they just didn't get around to. You knew it was out there, but you just didn't get around to it during the adventures of Luke Skywalker. But anyway, Star Wars should have Star Wars in it. And you got more of it in this episode than the previous one, so, I'll give them that. But, yeah, it really should have, the team should have had something like that. Now, granted, they're all supposed to be Imperial soldiers and whatnot, and for the most part, that's all we've ever seen in Star Wars are human beings form up the soldiers for the Empire. But still, that was just the guys who had to go undercover and dress up. Well, no, that's not true. One of the girls, she had to put on a uniform too, but the main girl, the girl boss, she didn't. And but I'm forgetting her name and all. Sorry. But one of them could have been the alien, or something like that. But they didn't do it that way. So, but all in all, it's a good show. It's just, hey, can this save Star Wars? No, it cannot. Ahsoka could, if a certain plot pursuit was indeed pursued. But other than that, it's just every now and then you'll get a cool show. So Mandalorian was the first one. I guess I haven't delved into the cartoons, but I've heard good things about them, so maybe that's, the extra stuff. But big stuff like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you poop the bed on that. So it's still an extraordinarily damaged property, and I can understand why people would refuse to go back. Even though, because it's just, the show's good, but is it enough for you to, hey man, just ignore the bad crap and enjoy this show for what it is? It's good. It's a hard sell because of what Star Wars did to itself. And it's a similar situation with Game of Thrones. There's people who said, no, I'm done, not going back. And I said, well, House of Dragon is actually good. Don't care. So, okay. When you burn a bridge, more times than not, it stays burnt, So, Star Wars, same deal, It's like, why bother for a lot of people, and I don't have an argument for it, even though, yeah, Andor's pretty good. But I keep coming back to this idea because there was, this is just a side thing about Blake 7, which is yet another spacefaring adventure involving a rebellion. But it was a very dark show, and a revived, redone Blake 7 would probably look an awful lot like this. You couldn't have TIE fighters, but you'd have spaceships in it. And that is like, this show is more Blake 7 than Star Wars. But there was talk of a Blake 7 revival off and on. But in this current era, it'd probably be best to just leave it alone. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, another good episode of Andor. And like Rings of Power, it titled this episode The Eye. But the Eye actually appeared in this. So, another win for Andor, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Wouldn't take much to beat Rings of Power. Yeah. But that, as they say, is another story.